Well, hello and welcome again to our reading of Acts of the Apostles. We're up to chapter 1 and we finished last time at verse 20. And so we've had this rather gruesome story of Judas, who, well, whatever happens to him, he seems to fall in this field and his intestines poured out. We get a different story, of course, in Matthew's Gospel. It's reported that he hung himself, and some have tried to explain the two differences by saying that, well, he hung himself and the rope broke, and so on. But it would appear that there were two different stories floating around in the early church as to how he died, and this is just one of the two that happens to appear here in Luke. Anyway, so this we finished off with this story became known to all those living in Jerusalem, so that this land was called in their own dialect Arkel-Damak, that is the field of blood, and that's where we got up to last time. And we now get two quotations, both from Psalms, one from Psalm 68, one from Psalm 109. As often, it's very strange by modern standards, but they just take these verses totally out of context and then suddenly apply them to the particular situation, which seems very odd to us, but that was a common practice of the use of the Septuagint by many early Christians. So it says, "Gegraptai gar, for it has been written." So this is the perfect passive from grapho, for it has been written in the book of Psalms. Now we get here, the subject is epaulis. Now an epaulis is a homestead. It can mean a farm. It's sometimes translated as habitation, the place where you might live. And this is the passive, because it's an irregular verb, passive aorist imperative, third person singular. So let be. So let his habitation, let his homestead, let his habitation be eremos, desolate. Now eremos can be used as a noun in the New Testament, as a feminine noun in fact, but it can also be used as an adjective. Here probably adjectivum, same in the Septuagint. So let his homestead, let his habitation be desolate. Kai me esto, and esto is the third person singular imperative from Amy, and let there not be the one dwelling, participle here from katoikio, in it. So let no one dwell in it. And another quotation from Psalms, labeto is the strong aorist, third person singular imperative. Let heteros, another one, take tan episkopein out too. Take his position. It means over the position of an overseer. And I'm not sure what better translation you can get there for that. His position as overseer, let another take. It is necessary, therefore, and now this section here is very strange because it's one of the rare examples in biblical Greek where you really have to play a little bit of jigsaw puzzles, because the day takes an accusative and infinitive. And so you've got to hunt through until you find an accusative infinitive, and in fact the infinitive is right down here. So they're separated by quite a lot, and the rest of this is parenthetical. And so this makes this tricky, so it's gone into the next verse in fact. So therefore it is necessary for one of these, we'll be told who these are in a minute, genesthai sun hemon, to be with us. That is, to join us. So it's necessary for one of these to join us. Well, one of who? Well, that's what the rest of this is about. One of the men going with us. It's dative after the sun. So this is the this is partitive genitive here, of the men going with us, en panti chrono ho, in all the time in which the Lord Jesus went in and went out with us, or perhaps to us. This is, again, slightly Hebraic. To go in and to go out simply means to conduct your life and to live and move around. So one for whom, one of those men who went with us in all the time when Jesus literally perhaps was spending time with us, literally was going in and out with us, or to us, having begun from the baptism of John unto the day which, we probably expect us have a dative here, in which, but it's being put into the accusative by attraction. So until the day in which aneleiphthe, this is an aorist passive from analambano, we've had that earlier I think in this chapter, he was taken up from us. And he has to be a martura, a witness of the resurrection, of his resurrection, and then that's what the rest of it then is. So it is, so of those, so we could take this bit first and hold the day with the infinitive for later. So of those who were with, of those men who were with us, in all the period when Jesus was living with us, was coming and going to us, beginning from the baptism of John until the day he was taken up from us, a witness of the resurrection, it is necessary for one of these men to join us. So a little bit of jigsaw puzzle there. Kai estesan duo. So this is from Histemi. Two men stood up. Joseph, the one who is called Barsabas, hos epiklethe. Now epicalio, or an epiclasis, is like an epithet or a nickname. So one who was nicknamed Judas. This is the aorist passive from Callio. So the one who was nicknamed Judas and Matthias. And when they had prayed, they said, You, O Lord, cardiognosta. Now this in fact is a noun. It's really a made up word in some sense here. It's cardiognostes. The form we're getting here is actually a vocative. This is a vocative form of these first declension nouns in ace. So cardiognostes, cardiognosta is a vocative form. So the meaning's clear. It's from the gno from gnosko and the cardia, heart. So you, Lord, the one who knows the heart of all, anadaikson from anadaiknumi, reveal whom ex elexo. Now be careful there because that is actually a second person. This is actually a second person. It's from ek legomai. So it would have originally been lex arso. That would have been the original ending in much earlier Greek. The sigma, so it's second person singular, the sigma disappears and this contracts to give you an omega here. So although it looks like a first person of some sort, it is actually a third person, so it is actually a second person singular, middle, from ek legomai. So reveal whom you have chosen from these, one from the two. So just a little bit tricky there. So from these men, one from the two, or one of the two. To take the topon, the place, so labane infinitive from lambano, of this ministry. And apostole, apostleship, it's an abstract noun, and the apostleship from which Judas stepped away. So he fell away, from which Judas fell away, or perhaps it's parabino, to step away. To go, so he did this to go into his idion topon, to go into his own place. We might say go his own way, but it's literally into his own place. And they gave lots autois to them, that is these guys, Justus and Matthias, and the lot fell. Epesen is the aorist from pipto, to fall. This is a strong aorist, it's an irregular verb. So the lot fell upon Matthias, and sun katepsethiste, this is from pse physdemai, is to vote, and it's sung kata, and it's passive here. So he was voted together with the 11 apostles. So he was voted to join together with the 11 apostles. And that's the end of chapter 1 of Acts.